Hello and welcome. This is going to be just kind of a whatever comes out reading here. As you can tell from the title, you know a little more than I do at this point. So I have three different cards popping out from this archetypal deck and one underneath. Just as I was going to go on camera, I started to switch up the deck, and what popped out was 70, the thread, 60, the kiss, and 10, the warrior. So take a little peek at these. I was kind of getting the essence of past life influences here with this karmic thread. The kiss having to do something with romance carried from lifetime to lifetime, or longing or wishes in that regard. And then this warrior card type of energy, like a spiritual warrior, and there may be some type of energy of separation in love, that then in this lifetime there is an individual, and you can define love as platonic or in a family or so on. But there's some type of love that endures. Underneath the deck, we have, what is this, 24, the sustainer. And that little pottery vessel thing in that hand almost looks like the anatomical representation of a heart to me every time I see it. And morning glories on the side. I don't know if that's somebody's flower. Something about waking up in the morning and giving thanks and praise. Interesting. That may be a daily ritual of gratitude. Anyways, as I was about to say, there's something with this warrior card about previous lifetimes having been ones where either we feel connected to a story of having to walk away from something, or that someone or some type of circumstance was torn away from us. This sounds a little dramatic, but it's something that's coming through now with this soulmate recognition and awareness of something enduring in the heart from a previous lifetime. And this thread is like, we don't quite understand the resonance that we are having for another individual. Maybe some do, but I see that there's this urge to kind of pull on that karmic thread and say, have a conversation or really connect with spirit about what this energy has to say to you. So before throwing this deck, the deck that I was going to use, I started to pre-shuffle, and a few things came off the top, too many for me to take, but Arrow was at the bottom. I was thinking about doing a pick a card, and then this one came out, 47, Skybridge, possibility for union. So this is perhaps talking, now that I see these other cards, about a soulmate reunion. This may be somebody that we do know in this lifetime already or have come in contact with, or it could be talking about another individual that we will come in contact with, that there's the possibility for a soulmate reunion. And remember, don't limit yourselves to feeling that this is an actual lover that's being presented. Some of you out there will be in a great partnership already. Some of you aren't looking for love. It may be a partnership in business. It may be a great best friend. It might be somebody getting pregnant and having a child soulmate come through their body, especially with this kiss energy. But there's some type of spiritual warrior energy coming through, where even if it's not a relationship, you can kind of see here that this thread, this karmic thread, is talking about the rainbow here. And again, for those that need the reminder, rainbow doesn't only represent one thing here. It can represent the chakras, but here it seems to represent the spiritual bridge between spirit and matter, and how those light codes are kind of there, and how our inferences and influences here in our karma dharma, we're kind of able to perceive and connect and unravel the karmic weaving and to weave our own stories from there. And we have this warrior here where it's like we're kind of this connection here on the other side where this this warrior energy is almost part of who we are. And I'm even reminded that my business name and my YouTube handle here is Empressive Warrior. It's like the light warrior, the divine feminine warrior, that empress energy that does it through now connecting as the lover. So underneath this shamanic deck was gathering around the power of community, number 26. So much happening there. So this possibility for union, reunion, or chance meeting here, or connecting with like minds, may be happening through new group involvements, through getting out and about and around. Like maybe you take a walk every day. Maybe that's part of the ritual or routine. Maybe it's something that you don't ever have time for, and now you're going to walk on your lunch break or something. But anyways, there's these new connections that are coming in for us here. Okay, I'm seeing cards over here. I wanted to say also, I did grab this random deck that represents my mother in spirit, one of her tarot decks. I didn't even know she owned until after she passed. Well, maybe I did. Anyways, I shuffled it and the Lovers card came out, and I got the Knight of Wands, and then the oh boy, there was something else. Anyways, if it's meant to come up, it will. And then now under the deck, Three of Cups. So we had a few energies coming in. And I tried to do a bit of a meditation channeling ahead of time because I had also the right order. Like writing things down helps to put things into context and get them into right order. But I just couldn't get much to come through. I will say that I did see the number 7, and then I saw it inside of a heart, not the anatomical heart, but the heart shape that we often see on like a deck of cards. And it reminded me of one of my books that I've had for ages. I even replaced it when I thought I lost it. This Robert Camp Love Cards book. That's definitely written in its time and has the author's bias in it. However, I was just curious because it came to my mind for a reason. So maybe that's just to bring it out for you. But the 7 of Hearts card in here is called this spiritual love card. And I was kind of getting that spiritual warrior, but then we did have that Lovers card, remember? And it's talking about that these people can have a lot of unconditional spiritual love because of the various conflicting energies that they've dealt with in their life. So they can definitely have different meanings to different people, but what I was called to do was to look at the corresponding birth dates, because if you don't know, it's cardomancy. Is that saying it correctly? It compares everybody's birth date to a playing card. So I'll just give you a quick little glance at that. You can screenshot if you wish. Not meaning to copy any of that information, but if that helps you to get the messages here. So the 7 of Hearts card is represented by the birth dates or the event dates, or some type of thing may have happened, or somebody that you know may have happened or is potentially going to happen on these dates in the future. Not for everyone, of course, grain of salt, entertainment purposes only. September 30th, October 28th, November 26th, and December 24th. So for some of you, these are happening around when you would be perhaps celebrating some holidays with community, family, and people are gathering around in family, friends, and communities to show gratitude, give gifts and attention, and so on, taking vacations perhaps. So maybe coming home for the holidays. So, in any event, there's something here being talked about. And I want to get some more cards from this mixed shamanic deck and move into some tarot for you guys. So I don't know if there's going to be a chance meeting for everyone or if those dates were only for some of you. Also, something may have happened around those dates, around the holidays in previous years. So let's see, what is greater context for what we're reading on today? Any greater information? We'll take that one and this one. So we have Root Girl, the Disowned Self 46, which came out in the Daily Dharma today. That may have some messages for you, as well as 14, the Curse. Incredibly interesting combination here for some of you. So I don't know if something perhaps happened around the time of when you were 14 years old and now you're about 46. Not for everybody, but there's some type of it could be a secret, or it could be an injustice or some other type of sadness that happened in one's own life and created some wounding within the disowned self, you know, within the inner child. Some type of perhaps family dynamic or family tragedy. Somebody may also, this is perhaps a stretch for some, but I'm seeing somebody given up for adoption and keeping some type of family secret where this was not even made aware to the child. And the child may have been 14 when the adult was about 46, give or take a few years. It's a stretch for some of you, I understand. Quite specific for one or two. Oh, and we also have, this is the 47, 46, 47 years old, or maybe that's how old somebody would be today. Underneath the deck, we have 63 wind. There's a memory coming to you, so-called on the wind. Something that, oh, disowned self also. This may also have to do with certain types of abandonment and feelings of that, maybe like first love and having that not represent actual love, but something that this possibility for union did not come to fruition, for instance. Nice. I want to see these cards under the deck. Skywriting the Fates, straddling worlds, wandering between realms, and Will o' the Wisp. Very interesting. So I kind of sense that ever since this time frame, that this was kind of something that happened to you on purpose to get you to reach your purpose, and that something was quite fated that may have created some type of separation. And it could have, I mean, I'm getting so many, not conflicting, but layered is the word I want to use, circumstances where there have been multiple situations within our awareness that this supposedly could be talking about, that are kind of, again, woven together, and that we're looking, and this doesn't have to be self with the adoption and the curse that's coming through, but there's a potential for a reunion here on some level. And okay, I'm going to stop with the specifics. You'll know your situation. I want to get to these cards here that popped out. So 32, check this out, the luminous warrior, the light warrior, again with that rainbow energy being pulled through that karmic string into the crown. There is this possibility for awareness. And I want to say, check out this guy's hair and how that crown energy seems to be expressed through his hair, and perhaps like the kinky hair that could also be seen as evidenced in this card, perhaps. This may be somebody who has worn braids or dreads being called into the situation. It doesn't have to be, it could be somebody with curly hair. For some, this could be the father wound that happens just because even though the father or mother is present there as a caregiver, they're largely emotionally absent from the child's upbringing. And this may have created a lot of disowned needs where the caregiver subtly gives us or overtly gives us signals that our needs are to be suppressed and self-satisfied over here without their guidance or interaction. Then we become needless, overlooked, and self neglecting. I say that with so much compassion. I hope you understand this. But there is this light warrior stepping forward to say, you know, maybe somebody who has passed or who has, or a past life where this awareness is coming online, where it's like, you're tapping into the potential to reunify something, and it's you with your light, I kind of feel. But for many, there's this opportunity for this partnership in the external world as well. So we have the mystical shaman, whether you're seeing a shaman or coming online with your shamanic capacity. I sense that this is kind of like mirrored across time and space. Like this might have been one of your previous roles here as a shaman, and now you come into this world and you kind of resonate very deeply with that level. Maybe it's something where you can practice connecting with, let's say, just the consistent beats of a drum, beating on your own drum and going into some type of trance mode to gain some type of energies, insights. Maybe that will help you to focus your meditative practice. I'll try it. Cosmic womb, the divine feminine here. Soul retrieval. So absolutely, these all go together so beautifully. Coming out of that chrysalis here, reborn through the trials and tribulations, coming out more beautiful on the other side because of the complexities of the process. Dust devil, moving out of stagnation, 15. And the council, which is number 11. So 47, this sky bridge reduces to an 11. So we start and end with this 11 card here. We do have a lot in the 40s here. We've got 46, 47, 49, 32, 38. So yeah, there's a lot of numbers here for those that like that. So let me get into some of the tarot here before we get too in depth here. I'm just kind of caught up looking at how this story is like something that has, quote, plagued us with this curse energy here. Something's suppressed within ourselves, our own light, it suggests here. And then the need to move out of this stagnant period, to rebirth, to reclaim all the power that we are, which was some of the messages that were coming through the daily Dharma today, and to reunify with the solar essence of our, whether it's our starseed capacity or our true luminosity, the light codes, to be able to be that beacon, that lighthouse for the world and for others. It's like we're being told that we're being guided. It's like this image of the sun here, and it's like this is the individual that we can't quite see right now because they're within the sun. It's like, you know how if you were to look directly at the sun, it's so blinding. If something was coming directly out of it, like coming forward like a bird, we would be blinded by the sun, or like the deer in the headlights I'm hearing. Like you can't really it can't see anything. All it can do is be blinded by this light. And it's like this one is here on the other side, perhaps, of the sun, calling you forward. And again, this is all symbolic, folks. So it's like moving through the face of the sun. The messages earlier and lately have been talking quite a bit about this unity consciousness. It's like the sun is another star, and we can even see, like in Egyptian lore, there's this triangle. Is it the Elohim? It's something I'm not calling in right now, but it's kind of talking about like that's the portal, the birth portal of souls that come into this world, according to some beliefs. And there's something about our reconnection with our cosmic heritage, which is the light of soul that persists throughout time and space and stays with us, to reconnect to all that we are, that luminosity as this warrior, lifetime after lifetime, to pull ourselves up from the depths and to reclaim all that we are, to move out of some type of stagnant period on our journey here. And the council is leading us from the other side. And if somebody precedes us in death over to the other side, they're helping us to see through the treasures hidden in the shadows. Card is calling me now. So it's like hidden in the sun, hidden in the shadows. It's like also like that fire blindness when we're in 22 on the timer, when we're staring at a fire at night and then we turn around and we can't see anything because the eyes are so adjusted to that bright light that we can miss things in the dark, such as like I've got a black dog. And I've many times back in the day, we would have these bonfires and he would lay right by me, and I would think I would know where he was at, but he'd shimmy around and I'd go to turn around. It's like I almost trip right over him because he's just completely the shadow. So there's something here about not being able to see through something in the moment until the eyes adjust. So you're going to be able to see through this process here as you unravel the karmic cord here. There is some type of information coming into your beingness here that is helping you to transition through a period of a return to love, a return to your light. So the card that just came out was Initiation of the Count Saint Germain. Came out also in the Daily Dharma today. Maybe this is an extended. Four of Roses under the deck here, Views of the Ego. And see how that guy only sees himself in the mirror? That may be indicative of times in our lives where we've had to be that way, or where we found ourselves not taking context of others. But most of us here are going to be the empaths that are so utterly aware of everyone else's needs, whether it's through this hypervigilance of being subjected to something unkind or unconscious from our distant past, where we were needing to develop skills in order to have our needs met. We often are highly attuned to the needs of others in those ways, so that we're like this caregiver, this utterly, completely indispensable, very useful individual, always early, always putting in the 110, 210%. It's like almost offering up our energy to be exploited and used when we are faced with those that are locked into this on purpose or by some type of soul choice or karmic involvement. Then we have the Five of Roses, which is the next card after the Four of Roses ego. It's called the Garden. And it has these children lost in a garden in their own little minds, looking through their spy glasses. She has a magnifying glass. He has a long distance glass. Somebody looking towards the future, somebody looking towards the macrocosm, and somebody looking towards the microcosm. I'm hearing like a microbiologist versus a cosmonaut, you know, somebody who's really engaged in the far out in the occult, and somebody who's really completely engrossed in the here and now and the material and delving through those matters. And so it's like these two individuals perhaps cannot even see each other because their eyes are not adjusted to the other person's lens. And so this distance perhaps was necessary because even though there are parallel paths, they have not been able to cross paths correctly, in that there was always like, well, I'm in this mentality, I'm in this mentality. And so through the views of both people's egos and karma, the resonance wasn't able to be a direct hit, but the soul tie was evident. So both individuals through this healing process here, or all individuals in this community, whatever is your situation, have been digging these rows here and coming out of their own karmic legacy in order to identify and merge with their own inner identity, their own I am presence, healing and transmuting their process, rebirthing their energy, repurifying their energy in some type of a way. All right, anything else from this deck? That one wants to be seen. The Akashic Field. One of Forces is the Ace of Wands. Being told to look at the book again, but I want to avoid that right now because we're at the end of the recording. I just want to get these out. And the Master Artisan, Eight of Keys. So the Eight of Keys here talks about the way that we use our energies and the way that we're rewarded for it. He's receiving some money or recompense, I'm hearing. Something before the video was coming through. It wasn't retribution. It was one of those words where we were getting something for what we've done previously. Not reimbursement, but there's something here about aligning with our own Akashic heritage, being able to be more expanded, both in our awareness, in our light, and to be able to perceive further. And, you know, as within, so without, as the microcosm, so the macrocosm. And so one person has delved infinitely inward, and one person may have delved infinitely outward. And maybe there's also been this role reversal and different things happening where there's this awareness. But this Master Artisan is like both individuals, perhaps somebody here is really getting into their mastery of their craft. And it's like I'm seeing this Master Artisan here with his hands held up like this. And I'm seeing the Council card here with the hands on the heart. I just heard like a ding. Eight of Keys. So that's the Eight of Pentacles. It's the work that we do. And I feel like it's soul work that we are doing here, and that we are reaping the rewards for some type of work done here. Let's see if we can get any further information. I'd like to get some oracle cards. I was afraid that some of my cards had slipped, but let's go ahead and get a few oracle cards, and then we will perhaps still have time to clarify with a little bit more tarot. I'm sensing there's definitely something we've been searching for, looking for. All right, under the deck we have Artha of Kali with Tromanagmo underneath that. Tromanagmo is really a quite intense card, but it's really talking about staying the course and really claiming our own right to exist and to move forward, to be very discerning with our energy, to step forward and understand how to see through lies and how to speak the truth into being. And underneath we have 15 Ivory Swan Goddess, which we did have a 15 card with the one of the cards out, the Dust Devil, and the 14, the Curse. So yeah, something here where we're moving away from attachment and lethargy and some type of depression energy, suppression energy, especially voiceless feelings, misunderstood of the curse here, and forgiving and letting go, something quite significant here. Seeing somebody with an aquarium, with the lights of the aquarium dancing across, like the lights and reflection off the water as it ripples. That might be for somebody. And then we have Dharma of Kali here. This is so gorgeous for everybody. This is definitely a daily Dharma extended. So this 37 Dharma of Kali is all about embracing all that we are. It's not about just the spiritual light. It's not just about the darkness. It's about the compilation and the complexity of all that we are. It's about being able to witness our extremities and to then define the center of ourselves and to find some type of meaning within that process of reunification in some type of a way. So we have 36 and 37. So I want to read 37 because we're about to run out of time here. Oh, I hope I don't run out of time. Be with me, Spirit. Her every action is infused with loving purpose. Every challenge and every opportunity in your life exists by her divine design. Her spiritual intelligence is within your heart. When you trust in your integrity and proceed according to your soul's values, you are trusting and empowering her to be at cause in your life. Everything is happening. That is happening as part of your prayers being answered. A new order is to be established. You're being led into it. Absolutely what we were saying. And the Artha of Kali happening with that too. It's the preceding energy of that discernment. Her heart contains the seeds of your soul and complete awareness of the divine destiny that she's always intended for you. There's a sacred purpose for which you are divine and meaningfully protected. This pathway is protected for you to fulfill it. Only you can decide where to put your faith and commitment into that path, and then to take one step at a time in honoring what has value to your heart, tuning into her loving plan. In taking those steps, the pathway will reveal itself and you shall attract great blessings that will benefit all beings.